Hello! So this is something I've been meaning to do for a while. It's a bit of an exercise in embracing imperfection, which I'm not doing enough at the moment. And getting stuff out there. There's been a few projects that I've just let go because they haven't quite met my expectations. So I wanted to kind of get into the practice of looking back over the last month. And maybe this will become a live thing at some point. I'm not quite sure. But for the moment, I just wanted to put up some short videos just talking about the last month, looking backwards, because I find that so quickly my sense of time gets distorted and I lose track of what was where in the scheme of things. And the more clarity I have over what's happened over the last month, then the better I can plan and react to where I've been to move forward. And also it's a chance to actually catch up with you all as well. I've got a lot of things to do around like my marketing newsletters at the moment. I'm so behind on those. I haven't put one out in the longest time, which is terrible. So this is a chance for me to actually be okay with not knowing exactly what I'm going to say and just getting some stuff out there. So the month of May, what was it like? That's my zip, by the way, banging away on a glass table. So let's start off with what I like to call the professional. Yeah. So my numbers for the month, to open the books and be completely honest, they weren't what I'd like. But at the moment, I'm playing a little bit of a long game around marketing. I've been spending a lot of time investing in better approaches around marketing. So that's kind of my justification for why those numbers weren't as high. I think that there's a lot of value in what I'm doing, and this feels like I'm already spinning like an into it. Yeah, but it's a lot of the auditions that I've been putting out in the past have been targeted at pay to plays, or I will have contacts from the network that I built up over years reach out to me and say, hey, we've got a thing for you. But now I'm getting more proactive about being aggressive and reaching out to people and making sure that they're compared to a pay to play, there is no competition because I'm contacting someone directly. So that feels like, it still feels like it's a good thing, but I'm really going to have to focus on getting, well, I guess more lead emails out the door, continuing all of those good practices over this month, over the month of June is what I'm hoping to do. And I've been spending a lot of time over the last couple of weeks. It's my quarterly upskilling process at the moment. So I've been spending a lot of time on marketing practices there. In other exciting news, my website's now officially dying. It still looks fine, but oh boy howdy, is my contact form getting slammed by spam just every day. And poor old WordPress, this is one of the issues with WordPress, and this is why I'm finally going to upgrade to Squarespace. My theme isn't supported on the current version of WordPress, so I would have to go out and find something that does largely the thing that I want. So it's just too much hassle. So I'm finally going to bite the bullet and just move over to a Squarespace. So I'm going to pay a monthly fee or whatever it is in order to have a Squarespace website, but it's going to be a lot less hassle to update, because I found over time as well that WordPress, the experience of being able to look at a website live and see, is this thing working? Is it not? Hard to tell. Where you'll think that your website's working fine, it looks great, and then you look at it on mobile, or you realize you were logged in and you log out, and then you see a whole different thing. So it's finally time it's just time to bid WordPress adieu. It's been great, WordPress, but it's time for me to move on. Yeah, so those are the things for this month. In terms of professional wins, going back to what I was talking about before, focus on marketing. I just finished up doing like a giant marketing course, and it did the thing that I really wanted it to do, which is lower the amount of decision fatigue, the amount of basically choices that I have to make around getting marketing emails out there. And by that, I don't mean douchey, like blasting at people going, hire Kevin Paul. Kevin Paul's awesome. No, what I mean is just getting like marketing versus advertising. It was described to me by a very clever person once. Marketing is all about conveying useful information. Advertising is about trying to create a need to actually sell something. But so in terms of marketing, it's just getting the right information out to people to say, hey, I'm here, I can do a thing for you. And so I've been spending a lot of time with that course doing that. So that sort of took the place of like regular study which was a downside and a plus at the same time. Gotta have it happen. Headshots. I got new headshots. I worked with Anna Maguire, and I love my new headshots. I'll pop a link in the video down the bottom to my StarNow profile, which is the best place to see them at the moment, because you might recall I just mentioned before that my website is slowly dying, so updating it is a little bit tricky. But yeah, I love them. It feels like it's a real testament to, like, I can see the results of the training that I've been doing. And it might sound daft, like if you're not an actor yourself, it might seem silly for someone to say, oh yeah, there's photos of me and I feel like they really reflect that I'm a quality actor. But there is a relationship that you have with the camera when you're having a photo taken. And you can tell the difference. Like, we are drawn automatically to photos from celebrities or actors where they're engaging with the camera in a really interesting way. Like, we don't know why, but we feel compelled. We feel seen by those photos. And it's the first time that I've seen those sort of results in stuff that I've done myself. So super fucking happy with them. And yeah, I've just been blasting them everywhere. So that was a real professional win. I also got one of my goals for this year was to get a regular, there's a few different workouts I'm trying to get happening with peers. And I got my regular Monday night workout going. We managed to get scheduling working in a way that between Boston and Seattle and Melbourne actually works for us all. So it's one of the highlights of my week. Like, I love that workout, and the people in it are absolute sweethearts. So that was a really good feeling to get that up and running, because it's a chance to play with people regularly and just dive into stuff, which you don't get to do enough as a voice actor. Most of the time when you're doing auditions, you're doing them alone. If you have a director connected remotely, you're lucky to have that, and it's a blessing when you have it. So being able to recreate that experience, huge plus. I also did an extras gig. Both of my acting coaches have been kicking me in the bum to get out and do more on-camera work. And so I did an extras gig for the grand scheme. I wasn't really on camera much. I was in the background of shots, but it was good to be on set, and it was good to lower just a little bit of that tension that I have, that nervousness about sort of, just that moment when someone calls action and, oh God, what if I fuck it up? What if I do the wrong thing? So lowering that tension with low stakes, it felt really good. The last time I did an extras gig would have been around 2015, 2016 maybe? 2016, which was Alex My Darling. Yeah, which was really good. And that was a combination of an extras gig and firearms as well, although I got killed in the opening of the firefight, so my experience was lying down on concrete all night and trying not to get hemorrhoids. Yay! But it was a great film, and the director was amazing for that. So yeah, The Grand Scheme, which looks like a really interesting film, produced or co-produced by... I'm gonna blank on his name. Bear with me for a quick second. Good to be on set and get a chance to do more extras work there. Let's see, what else? Professional wins. I revamped my Twitch page. I'm really enjoying streaming over there. I stream twice a week, Wednesdays and Fridays, and it's a highlight of my week. I love it. And I've got some great art on there now by Beatrice Bravo, who I can pronounce the name of. Yeah, I've got wonderful headers on there, and she's also done the emotes for the page as well, which I couldn't be happier with. I'm really enjoying that. It's a good chance to do partly what I'm doing now, which is actually just talk completely unprompted or with basic notes around what I'm going to be talking about and be comfortable with that. Embracing imperfection. I've been finding it really interesting. There's a few other things that aren't probably getting too deep down a rabbit hole there that have been rewarding that I've found about Twitch streaming as well, and I'd be more than happy to talk about that if anyone's interested, but otherwise I'll just keep things relatively short. Let's see. A combination of, so it's a professional win kind of triggered by a little bit of a personal, it's been a rough month personally. I don't have a lot to really complain about there, but I've had some things that I've had to sort of work through, and I've found that exercise has been where everything negative has just been going. I've just been throwing it out through that. So the plus side of that is I've been seeing some great fitness gains as a result of that. I'm feeling great. I feel like shape wise, I'm in probably the best shape I've been in years. And starting to, if I keep at this, because I'm eating more intelligently as well. I guess like anything, once you start seeing small gains, they reinforce themselves, and so you feel compelled to make other gains or other changes as well in order to increase those gains. I guess it's a virtuous circle rather than saying it's addictive, but it's a really positive thing. And I'm literally tomorrow I'm going to be starting my new program with Stuart McDonald, who is the amazing personal trainer that I work with, and I could not be more excited for that. But it's great to see definition and like shape changing on my body. It's great to see the response to it's great to see a response to the work I've been doing there. And the funny thing is, when I started working with him, I was all about no, I just need strength. I need core strength. I need the ability to move. I just want basically a set of tools that I can use for performance capture. I just want that tool set. But now that I've gotten into it a bit, and he was like, yeah, you do this program and you're probably going to see a little bit of shape around your shoulders, a little bit here and there. I'm like, no. Okay, let's talk kettlebells. Let's talk about amping that up. So it's a little bit vain, but yeah, it's nice to know that my body, like I'm not held by any stretch, but it's nice to know that my body can still be responsive and I can still, like I've got control, I've got choices. If I want to look a certain way, then I'm just, fuck it, I've just got to throw the time and the effort at it. Which is great. It's also, I admit, one of the absolute advantages of working from home. Like I'm super blessed there. So it's so easy for me at the end of the day because I don't have like an hour commute on either side to go, okay, now I'm going to do an hour's workout. It's a lot easier that way. So we're talking professional stuff still. There was something else that I was going to go into there momentarily because we were talking about exercise, but meh, it'll come back to me. I also switched over software-wise. I switched over to using DaVinci Resolve and kicked Adobe Premiere and Adobe After Effects to the curb, and I could not be happier. I've been paying the full cloud subscription for months and throwing just so much money at Adobe, and they ratcheted up the monthly fee again. And I thought at that point in time, no, that's it, scorched earth. Like you really are just taking the piss at that point in time. And so I switched over to DaVinci Resolve, which is a completely free product, which is put out by Blackmagic. There's a professional version and there's a free version. The free version has so much functionality in terms of video editing. Like if you're using free software like iMovie on Mac or Windows Movie Maker on Windows, I would recommend switching to DaVinci Resolve. It is super powerful and it's such a pleasant experience from an editing perspective. So yeah, I haven't looked back and I've only just touched the surface of what it can do. Like it is targeted. Don't feel, if you jump over or if you decide to evaluate it, don't be put off by the fact that it talks a lot about color grading. Like that is primarily that's the key strength of the software, but it's not the only thing that it can do. It's great as an editor. It's great for managing projects. Like I've been putting up all of my videos that I pop over on the Now Playing channel, which is largely recaps of Twitch streams at the moment. I don't have any long form video projects that I'm working on at the moment, which goes back to what I was talking about embracing imperfection. Yeah, so I mostly use it for that, and it's been great. I've used it for some work videos as well. For the day job, I've been doing the production of a lot more video content, which I've been really excited about. And I've been using it for that, and it's just been pleasant. It's been super pleasant to get there. Yeah, so yeah, I'm gonna take a second just to gather my thoughts around. There was something else that came to mind when I was talking about fitness workouts. Oh yeah, that was the other thing. I've become addicted to start of the day 5 minutes exercise. That's if I don't get that, like it wakes me up more than my coffee, and if I don't get it, I'm cranky. So I've found that over the last month that habit has just gelled. I will go out and I will just belt out like 5 minutes of jumping rope. The song is Losing My Favorite Game by the Cardigans. I listen to that every morning. So it's like 4 minutes 25 rather than 5 minutes, but I will just attack that time. I will just go at it as hard as I can. for that stretch of time. And that wakes me up. That makes me feel good. Like that's the start of my day. And I'll do it while I typically eat the same thing for breakfast every day, which is porridge that I make from steel cut oats. And so while that's bubbling away and warming, I'll just go and do 4 minutes 25 of jump rope, and God, I feel better for it. So yeah, that's from a fitness perspective as well, and a general habit perspective. That one came out of a program I did towards the end of last year called Peak Performance Formula, which made a few really key changes to energy level too. I'll talk more about energy another time, maybe next month. Celebrating other people. It has been fantastic to see the audio drama Yowie, which I am a small part of, go from success to success. They were up for 2 awards at the Australian Podcast Awards last year. I was just checking for a moment to make sure I had pressed the record button. Had a momentary panic of, did I start recording? Let's not embrace that much imperfection. Yeah, so Yowie was up for 2 awards at the Australian Podcast Awards, both Best Fiction podcast and also the Yamaha Prize for Outstanding Podcast Production, which it really did deserve. If you haven't listened to it, all of it is available online for free now. They released the final episode of that. And if you listen to just one episode, you realize just how incredible the level of production is. And I say that not because I'm blowing smoke at Justin Bechtold and the amazing crew that he has. I love audio dramas. Like I listen to Magnus Archives regularly. In the past, I've listened to Tanis and the Black Tapes, which are interesting experiences. Magnus Archives I recommend unconditionally. But I've listened to a lot of audio dramas to get a feel for what they're about. White Vault as well, which has the amazing Lani Minella in it. And Yowie has a level of production that is exceptional. Just the level of work they do in world building with their audio production it's something else entirely. So I recommend having a listen to it. The trailer for Vikings Now, which you can hear me narrating in as a tiny part of that incredible production, has gone from strength to strength. Nomination at the LA Shorts for Best Trailer, and also a nomination for Best Trailer at the European Independent Film Awards. Gemma Laurel has been going great guns in terms of getting it out there, and it's no surprise because she's a powerhouse. She's someone I'm proud to be a long-term collaborator with. She's incredible. So yeah, it's been great to see that. It's been great to see that happening. Just the number of laurels that are on the actual trailer now, like the mock-up image they've got of it, there's barely space to see anything. It's good. It's really good. And yeah, I recommend having a look at that trailer. It's gonna be a really fun production. I'm crossing fingers that they get to go ahead with it. On a personal front, my daughter turned 5. We had her birthday. That went really well. First birthday party for her where we got like a bunch of people around and everything. So yeah, that was really good. I had a personal realization this month as well, and it's going to sound a bit cryptic, but due to some of the stuff I was dealing with, I realized that I have a tendency to surrender a lot of my personal power to folks who don't ask for it and don't necessarily want it. But it's a pattern of behavior that I've had for a very long time, and so I'm working through unpicking that at the moment, and it already feels so much better. It feels cleaner dealing with people. I know it sounds tremendously cryptic, but there you are. I've started... Okay, so let's finish off by talking about some media, and then I'll let you get on with your day. Thank you so much for joining me for this, by the way. So I've started my read-through of Self-Management for Actors, which I've picked up several times and put down, largely because it requires focus and effort to get through. It's not just a book that you read through, it's a book that you work through. It's by Bonnie Gillespie. It's in, I think, 4th edition at the moment. It's amazing. An amazing work. And so that's my regular study. And that's something that I've realized over the last couple of months. The thing that makes the biggest difference to my mental health, to my perspective on a day-by-day basis is, have I done study? Have I sat down with a book and read for an hour something that is important, that is going to move the needle on me creatively or in terms of mindset or productivity? And yeah, so that's what I'm working through at the moment, and I'm digging it. Literally, after I do this, I'm going to go on to a Skype call with a dear friend, and then on the other side of that, I'm going to do my hour of self-management for actors for today before heading into the evening. I'm really enjoying, I said before, and it's worth recapping, I'm really enjoying streaming on Twitch. It's actually been the thing that motivated me getting my ZQ Racing chair, which is an investment in not fucking my back. Because I realized, I thought about it, and I'm like, well, even when I'm not streaming, like I spend most of my time in this room, in the room that you're in right now, virtually. I spend most of my time in here, and I sit in a chair. And the chair that I had was just a regular, everyday kitchen table chair. And so I thought, yeah, I need to fix that. And this chair is super comfy. I'm going to be doing a charity stream in July. There's more details on that over on the Twitch channel. I'll provide a link down below in the video for that as well. I'm going to be doing a charity stream, a 24-hour marathon in July. And this chair is probably going to be my biggest asset there. Hopefully the posters you can see behind you too will be up on the walls by then too, instead of sitting on the floor. Yeah, so in terms of streaming, I'm streaming Days Gone at the moment and Sunless Skies. I'm enjoying both. I've realized that text-heavy games are actually a real asset for streaming, because it gives me an excuse just to read aloud and just be self-indulgent. Whereas normally, when I'm playing games, I really want there to be like really good voice acting. And speaking of which, off stream, I'm playing God of War at the moment and just loving it. The performances in that are incredible. The story I'm loving, and also the mechanics of the game are just a joy to engage with. I'm realizing that action adventures are the games that I save for myself, for playing for myself, and I'm loving them. It was a huge month as well for the end to massive pop culture sagas. We saw the end of the current block going all the way back to Iron Man of Marvel's films with Infinity War Endgame, and then we saw the end of Game of Thrones as well. Poor Kit Harington too. The dude is off in, not quite rehab, but in a wellness center at the moment, because unsurprisingly, he's had a bit of an emotional crash at the end of filming Game of Thrones, because it's been his life for 10 years, I think. Around about 10 years now. Yeah, so that is a review made for me. So I'm looking to, this month, notionally, I want to get the number of lead emails that I'm getting out the door even higher. I'm going to continue my focus on marketing. Other than that, yeah, there's no real course corrections past that point. Those are just the two big things that I'm looking to shift. I hope you have a wonderful month, and I'll pop up another video, hopefully, and continue this project in a month's time. See you then.